Hey, um, I just wanted to make a quick video because I recently had a really awesome realization. Here comes Henry. Come on up. Okay. So I recently realized that I live a peaceful life. And I know that sounds like a silly realization. Like, yeah, you're super spiritual, yeah, you're a healer, you should live a peaceful life. Should. But my life hasn't always been that way. My life was actually pretty chaotic for a long period of time. Like a good 20 something years of my life was chaos. So a peaceful life to me isn't the norm, isn't the usual. Growing up, my parents were in an unhappy marriage. There was always fighting. You never really knew when the next fight was going to start, so it was always kind of like waiting in anticipation for that chaos to erupt. And you know, growing up, that was just usual. Like, it was always chaos here, chaos there, chaos here, chaos there. There was lulls of peace, but it wasn't overall peaceful. And that continued playing out into my adult life. Even after my parents separated, my life remained pretty chaotic. I lived with my dad for a while, and we used to argue all of the time, get into big fights. And even after that kind of lulled out, I kept creating chaos in my life because I was so used to it. I would create chaos by going out and over drinking and getting belligerently drunk, and there was chaos. There would be fights in my life between friends, boyfriends, family, whatever. I was always creating this chaos. There was drama at work, there was this, there was that. And it was the norm for me. It's what kept me going. It's what I knew. And overall, I don't have that anymore. And it wasn't until recently I had a dream, and the dream was super chaotic. And I was talking to my friend about it, and, you know, she pointed out how it was almost like the representation of the chaos I used to have and that I don't have anymore. And I was like, holy shit, you're right. I didn't even realize. Like, my life isn't chaotic, my life is peaceful. I created peace. And it wasn't really until I started diving in and doing the work on myself that the peace came. My last relationship wasn't chaotic per se, but it wasn't peaceful. And I remember at one point, my boyfriend at the time pointed out to me, he said, you know, maybe you're creating all of these fights in our relationship because everything else in your life is peaceful. And in that moment, I got really defensive, and I was like, I'm not creating this, blah, 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 blah. But in hindsight, I think part of me was still holding on to that chaos because it's all that I knew. It was just everything, it was the norm for me. It's from childhood to 20 something, 25, 26, 27. I don't really know when it ended, but I do know that there's no more chaos. I live a peaceful life, and I created that. And I guess the point of me making this video to talk about how I created peace is to inspire you that you can create peace too. If you're living in chaos, it doesn't have to be that way. You may feel like things are out of your control, but really, I mean, all we do have control over is ourselves. But if you turn within and look within and see what you're doing and what patterns that you're living over and over and over again, because it's all you know, you can then begin to shift them and change them into something better. I lived chaos. I lived absolute chaos. Fights, things being thrown, you know, people getting kicked out of houses. It was kind of crazy, but that doesn't happen anymore, and you can have that same feeling of peace. You just have to commit to doing the work and living peace. Commit to peace, and you can have it. So I just wanted to hop on and share essentially that my life hasn't always been like this. I have lived through the struggles, I have lived through chaos, I have gone through shit, and it's gotten me here. It's made me better. I wouldn't change a minute of it, no matter how chaotic it ever was. So I hope that gives you some inspiration to create peace in your own life. And if you need somewhere to start in this moment, start now. How can you feel peaceful right this second? Even if it's just taking a few seconds to take a nice, deep, calm breath. Do it. You deserve peace. You deserve love. Your life can be peaceful, and it should be. Create it. As always, leaving you with peace, love, and light. Namaste.